The knock came again, louder this time. Arya froze in the narrow hallway, her phone still clutched in her hand, Wu's last words echoing in her head. Do not open the door for anyone, not even if they say they're police. Another knock. Sharp, controlled, not desperate. Arya Coleman. A male voice called through the door. We just want to talk. Her heartbeat slammed against her ribs. She backed away slowly, every instinct screaming danger. Through the peephole, she saw two men in plain clothes. One had his hand resting suspiciously close to his jacket. The other scanned the hallway like he owned it. I didn't do anything, she said, her voice shaking despite her effort to sound calm. We know, the man replied smoothly. That's why we're here. Her phone vibrated in her palm. Wu, do not speak to them. She swallowed. I'm not opening the door. A pause. Then the second man smiled. Your fiancé is in custody. Marcus Williams. We thought you might want answers. Her knees nearly buckled. How do you know my name? She whispered. Another pause. The smile vanished. Open the door, Arya. Something cold slid down her spine. She stepped back just as her phone vibrated again. Wu, go to the fire escape. Now. Her eyes darted toward the back window. The men at the door knocked again, harder. Arya, this is your last warning. She didn't think. She ran. The moment she pushed the window open, the sound of the door being forced echoed behind her. Wood cracked. Someone cursed. She climbed out onto the fire escape barefoot, the cold metal biting into her skin. Her heart thundered as she descended, gripping the rails, breath tearing out of her lungs. Below, a black sedan idled at the curb. The rear door opened. Wu stood there. Jump, he said calmly. I'll die, she cried. You won't, he said, eyes never leaving hers. I promise. The apartment door above burst open. She didn't hesitate. Arya jumped. Strong arms caught her midair. Wu staggered back once, then steadied, his grip iron tight as he pushed her into the car. Drive, he ordered. The sedan surged forward just as men spilled out onto the fire escape, shouting. Arya collapsed against the seat, shaking violently. Wu slammed the door shut and slid in beside her. Lock it. The doors clicked. Tires screeched. Only when they were 3 blocks away did she finally breathe. What was that? She sobbed. Who were they? Wu stared out the window, jaw tight. Not police. Her stomach twisted. Then who? People who realized Marcus failed, he said. She turned to him sharply. Failed at what? He finally looked at her, and for the first time since she met him, something dark and unapologetic showed in his eyes. At staying alive long enough to protect you. Her breath caught. Protect me from what? Wu exhaled slowly. From me. Silence crashed between them. The car slowed, turning into an underground parking garage beneath a glass and steel building that screamed money. Where are we? Arya asked. Safe, Wu replied. The elevator ride up felt endless. Arya hugged herself, replaying the crash of her apartment door, the men's voices, the way Wu had appeared like he'd known exactly when she would need him. The penthouse opened into a vast, dimly lit space. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the city. Everything was minimalist, immaculate, intimidating. This isn't safe, she said quietly. This is a fortress. Wu removed his jacket and set it aside. Exactly. She turned on him. You knew. You knew Marcus was in danger. You knew I was in danger. And you didn't tell me. His eyes hardened. I told you enough to survive. That's not your choice to make. Her voice cracked. You don't get to control my life just because you think you're protecting me. He stepped closer. I didn't think, he said sharply. I am protecting you. From who? Everyone, he said. Including myself. Her laugh came out broken. That doesn't make any sense. It will. He poured her a glass of water and held it out. She didn't take it. You sent me that video, she said suddenly. Didn't you? He didn't deny it. You ruined my life, she whispered. I saved it, he corrected. Marcus was laundering money for a rival organization. He used your accounts. Your name. Her blood ran cold. That's a lie. Wu picked up a tablet and handed it to her. Look. Her hands trembled as she scrolled. Bank statements. Transfers she didn't recognize. Her signature forged. Her name tied to shell companies. Tears blurred her vision. I would have gone to prison. Yes, Wu said quietly. Or worse. She sank onto the couch. Jessica. He nodded once. She was the bridge. Arya covered her mouth, a sob ripping free. They used me. Wu knelt in front of her. They underestimated you. She looked at him through tears. And what about you? What are you? His gaze never wavered. The man who ended it. Her chest tightened. Ended what? The threat, he said. Marcus talked too much. Her heart stuttered. What did you do to him? Wu didn't answer immediately. Then, softly, I made sure he can't hurt you again. Her hands dropped. Is he in custody? Wu said carefully. For now. The unspoken and later hung heavy between them. She stood abruptly. I can't stay here. You can't leave, he replied. Her eyes flashed. You don't own me. No, he said. But my enemies think I do. That stopped her cold. What does that mean? It means hurting you is the fastest way to get to me. Fear wrapped around her spine like ice. Wu stepped closer but didn't touch her. Listen to me. Just listen. Stay here tonight. In the morning, if you still want to go, I'll arrange protection. She searched his face. Protection from who? Everyone who now knows your name. She sank back down, defeated. The city lights glittered outside, oblivious. Hours later, Arya lay awake in the guest room, staring at the ceiling. Her phone buzzed nonstop. Unknown numbers, missed calls, voicemails she didn't dare play. A soft knock came at the door. Come in, she whispered. Wu stepped inside. No suit now, just a black shirt. He looked less like a king and more like a man carrying too much weight. I should hate you, she said. You should, he agreed. Then why don't I? His voice was low. Because I never lied about one thing. What? That you deserve better. Silence stretched. Outside, somewhere in the city, engines revved. Wu's phone buzzed. He checked it, jaw tightening. What is it? Arya asked. They found Jessica, he said. Her heart dropped. Alive. Yes. And she wants to trade information, Wu said. About you. Arya's blood turned to ice. Wu met her gaze. This is where it gets worse. If you're still with this story, tap like right now. It helps the channel more than you think. And subscribe, because part 2 is just getting dangerous. She sat up slowly, the blanket sliding down her arms. What do you mean information about me? Wu didn't answer right away. He crossed the room, closed the curtains with a sharp pull, then checked his phone again. Whatever he read there made his jaw tighten. She knows where you grew up, he said finally. Your mother's name. Your work schedule. Things only someone close to you could know. Arya let out a hollow laugh. Of course she does. She was my best friend. Wu's voice dropped. That makes her dangerous. Fear crawled up Arya's throat. What does she want? Protection, he said. Money. A way out. And you? Arya asked. I don't negotiate with traitors. The weight of his words settled heavy in the room. So what happens to her? Arya whispered. Wu looked at her carefully, like he was measuring how much truth she could survive. That depends on you. Her heart skipped. On me. She asked to speak to you, he said. Specifically. Arya shook her head. No, I can't. I won't. Wu nodded once. I expected that answer. Relief flickered, brief, fragile. But, he continued, she won't stop talking just because you refuse. And every word she speaks puts a target on you. Arya wrapped her arms around herself. So what are you saying? I'm saying, Wu said softly, that seeing her may be the fastest way to end this. End it how? Her voice trembled. He didn't soften it. Completely. Silence swallowed the room. Arya stared at him, really stared, at the calm in his eyes, the control, the absence of hesitation. This wasn't a man imagining violence. This was someone who lived with it. You're asking me to be part of this, she said. I'm asking you to survive, he replied. She looked away, blinking fast. I never wanted this world. I know. Then why me? She demanded, turning back to him. Out of all the women in this city, why did you choose me? Wu hesitated. Just for a second. Because you were kind, he said. And kindness is rare where I come from. Her chest ached at the honesty in his voice. That's not enough. It was, he said. Until it wasn't. She took a shaky breath. If I do this, if I see her, I need rules. Wu raised an eyebrow slightly. Rules? I don't want blood on my hands, Arya said. Not directly. I won't tell you what to do to her. I won't watch. And afterward, I want out. Protection. A clean slate. Wu studied her for a long moment. Then he nodded. Agreed. Just like that. You promise? She asked. His gaze locked on hers. On my life. That should have terrified her. Somehow it didn't. The meeting happened the next night. Wouldn't take her to a warehouse or some dark basement like her imagination had feared. Instead, it was a quiet private room in a high-end restaurant closed for renovation. White tablecloths, soft lighting, no windows. Jessica sat alone at the table. She looked smaller than Arya remembered, pale, exhausted, eyes darting to the door every few seconds. The moment she saw Arya, she stood up. Oh my God! Arya stopped just inside the doorway. Wu remained behind her, close enough that she could feel his presence without seeing him. Jessica rushed forward, tears already streaming. I'm so sorry. Arya, I swear, I never wanted this to happen. Stop, Arya said, her voice flat. Jessica froze. You don't get to cry first, Arya continued. You don't get to play victim. Jessica's mouth trembled. Marcus made me. No, Arya cut in. You made choices. Every single day. Jessica collapsed back into her chair. They're going to kill me. Wu stepped into view. The temperature in the room seemed to drop instantly. Jessica went rigid. It's you, she whispered. You're the one. Wu didn't sit. You asked for Arya. Speak. Jessica swallowed hard. I know things. Names. Routes. Accounts. Arya's stomach twisted. You were spying on me. Jessica looked up, shame flashing across her face. At first, yes. But then I tried to stop. Marcus wouldn't let me. That didn't stop you from sleeping with him, Arya said quietly. Jessica flinched. I hated myself for that. Hate doesn't undo damage, Arya replied. Jessica looked at Wu, desperation breaking through. If you let me go, I'll disappear. I'll give you everything. Wu's eyes flicked to Arya. This is your moment. Arya took a deep breath. Her heart pounded, but her voice came out steady. You're going to tell him everything. Every name. Every plan. Jessica nodded frantically. Yes. Yes, of course. And then, Jessica asked softly, what happens to me? Arya met her gaze. That's not my decision anymore. Jessica's face crumpled. Wu turned away, pulling out his phone. We're done here. As they walked out, Arya's legs shook so badly she thought she might fall. Wu caught her elbow. You did well. She pulled her arm free. Don't praise me. They rode back in silence. That night, Arya couldn't sleep. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Jessica's face, heard the terror in her voice. At dawn, Wu stood by the window, phone pressed to his ear. His posture was tense. When he hung up, Arya sat up. What now? Marcus talked, Wu said. So did Jessica. And my uncle wants to meet you. Her breath caught. Your uncle? The one who decides whether people live, Wu said calmly, or disappear. Fear rushed through her, sharp and suffocating. Why me? She asked again. Wu turned to her. Because you're no longer invisible. Outside, the city woke up. Cars, sirens, life going on as if hers hadn't just split into before and after. Wu walked toward her, stopping just short of touching her. This is where you choose, he said. Run, and I'll still protect you from a distance. Stay, and nothing will ever be simple again. Arya looked at the man who had pulled her from a fire escape, shattered her illusions, and stood between her and every shadow now hunting her. Her voice barely whispered. When do we leave? Wu's eyes darkened with something that looked like pride. Now. The car ride felt longer this time. Arya watched the city blur past the tinted windows, every familiar street suddenly foreign, dangerous. Wu sat beside her, silent, composed, his phone resting face down in his hand like a weapon waiting to be drawn. Is he going to hurt me? She asked quietly. Wu didn't pretend not to understand who she meant. My uncle doesn't hurt people without reason. That's not comforting. It's honest. She exhaled slowly. What does he want from me? To know whether you're a weakness, Wu said, or an asset. Her fingers curled into the fabric of her coat. And if he decides I'm a weakness? Wu's gaze hardened. Then he'll try to remove you. Her breath caught. Try. Wu turned to her fully. I won't allow it. The car rolled through iron gates guarded by men with unreadable faces. No uniforms. No badges. Just power. The kind that didn't need explanation. They stopped in front of a sprawling estate that felt older than the city itself. Stone walls. Warm lights. An unsettling calm. Inside, the air smelled like incense and polished wood. Kim Young waited in the main hall, seated at a low table. He was older than Wu, his hair silver, his posture relaxed in the way of men who had never needed to rush. His eyes, however, were sharp, calculating, predatory. So, he said in Korean, then switched smoothly to English. This is her. Arya straightened her spine. She refused to shrink. Wu inclined his head slightly. This is Arya. Kim Young studied her like a chessboard. Pretty, he murmured. Dangerous combination. Arya met his gaze. I didn't choose this. Kim Young smiled faintly. No one ever does. He gestured for them to sit. Wu remained standing. Tell me, Kim Young said to Arya. What do you think my nephew is? She swallowed. A man who protects what he cares about. And what do you think he cares about? The old man pressed. Arya didn't look at Wu. Loyalty. Control. Survival. Kim Young laughed softly. You're smarter than most. He leaned forward. Would you die for him? The question hit her like a blow. Wu spoke sharply. Enough. Kim Young raised a hand. I want to hear her answer. Arya's heart raced. Every instinct screamed that the wrong words could end everything. She thought of Marcus. Of Jessica. Of the moment Wu caught her midair. She lifted her chin. I would choose him, she said. Every day. But I wouldn't die blindly. I'd fight. Silence stretched. Then Kim Young smiled. Wide this time. Satisfied. She has teeth, he said. Good. Wu exhaled slowly, tension easing just a fraction. Kim Young's gaze hardened again. But understand this, girl. Loving him means blood will follow you. Fear will follow you. If you ever betray him. I won't, Arya said immediately. Kim Young's eyes flicked to Wu. She answers quickly. Wu replied evenly. Because she means it. The old man nodded once. Very well. She stays. Relief crashed through Arya so hard her hands trembled. But, Kim Young added, she will be watched. Wu's jaw tightened. By who? By everyone, Kim Young said calmly. Trust is earned. As they left the estate hours later, Arya finally let herself breathe. In the car, she turned to Wu. That was a test. Yes. And I passed. Wu looked at her, something fierce and protective burning behind his eyes. You survived. She laughed weakly. Is that the same thing? In my world, he said, it's better. Days passed. Then weeks. Arya didn't return to her apartment. Wu arranged classes online. Security she tried not to notice. A life that felt suspended between normal and impossible. He never forced her closer, but he never left her alone either. One night, as rain streaked down the windows, she found him on the balcony. You're pushing me away, she said. He didn't turn. I'm trying to keep you alive. I didn't agree to be kept in a cage. He finally faced her. This isn't a cage. It's a shield. She stepped closer. Then stop acting like I'm made of glass. His voice dropped. If I let myself want you the way I do, you become a target. Her chest tightened. I already am. Silence. Then he reached out, hesitant, careful, and brushed his thumb across her cheek. The touch was gentle, reverent. I don't know how to love you safely, he admitted. Then don't be safe, she whispered. Their lips met, not desperate, not rushed, but heavy with everything unspoken. When they finally pulled apart, the world felt changed. Wu rested his forehead against hers. This makes everything harder. She smiled faintly. Worth it. Below them, unseen, a car idled across the street. A man lifted a phone, snapping a photo, and sent it. If you're still watching, like this video right now and subscribe. The danger is closing in, and part 2 is far from over. Wu felt it before he saw it. That subtle tightening in his chest. The instinct that had kept him alive long before Arya ever entered his world. He pulled away from her abruptly, eyes scanning the street below. What is it? Arya asked, breath still uneven. Inside, he said, already moving. The tone in his voice wasn't panic. It was worse, certainty. She followed him back into the penthouse just as his phone vibrated. He glanced at the screen, and the warmth she'd just felt vanished from his face. Someone saw us, he said. Her stomach dropped. Saw what? Enough, he replied. A photo was taken, sent to someone who shouldn't have it. Arya's voice shook. Your uncle? Wu shook his head. Not yet. That's supposed to make me feel better? It means we still have time. Time for what? She didn't ask. She already knew the answer would terrify her. Wu moved fast, issuing quiet instructions into his phone in Korean. Arya caught fragments. Routes, lockdown, verify identity. Am I in danger right now? She asked. He stopped pacing and looked at her. Yes. Her chest tightened. but she forced herself not to crumble. Then tell me what to do. Something in her tone made him pause. You're not panicking, he observed. I'm tired of being surprised, she said. I want the truth. All of it. Wu studied her for a long moment, then nodded. Then listened carefully. He pulled up a chair and sat across from her, elbows on his knees. My family is not united. My uncle tolerates you, for now. Others see you as leverage. Because of you, she said. Because I care, he corrected. That is my weakness. Her heart stuttered at the word. And now, she asked. And now, Wu said, someone wants to test how far I'll go to protect you. As if summoned by his words, the lights flickered once. Arya's breath caught. Wu was on his feet instantly, drawing a gun from a hidden holster with smooth precision. Stay behind me. Wu. Now. A sharp crack echoed from the glass wall. The window spiderwebbed, but didn't shatter. A sniper round. Arya screamed and dropped to the floor as Wu dragged her back, his body covering hers as alarms blared. Safe room, he barked into his phone. Footsteps thundered outside the door, his security team already moving. Another shot rang out. Glass exploded inward this time. Wu pushed her toward a hidden panel that slid open. Inside. Don't stop. She hesitated, grabbing his arm. You're coming with me. I will, he promised. Go. She ran. The safe room sealed just as the living space erupted into chaos. Shouting, gunfire, the sound of glass breaking. Arya pressed her hands over her ears, heart pounding so hard it hurt. Every second stretched into agony. Minutes later, though it felt like hours, the door slid open. Wu stepped inside unharmed. She launched herself at him without thinking, arms wrapping tight around his neck. He froze for a fraction of a second, then held her just as tightly. I thought, her voice broke. I thought I lost you. He rested his chin against her hair. I'm still here. She pulled back, anger flooding in after fear. This is what your world looks like. Bullets. Targets. Me hiding in a metal box. Yes, he said quietly. And you still didn't tell me everything. He met her gaze. No. She swallowed hard. Who ordered the hit? Wu didn't answer immediately. Then, my cousin. Her eyes widened. Family. Yes. What does he want? Wu's jaw clenched. To replace me. Silence fell between them, thick and heavy. Arya stepped back. This doesn't stop, does it? No, he said honestly. It escalates. She nodded slowly, absorbing the truth. Then she surprised him. Then stop protecting me from it, she said. Teach me. His eyes snapped to hers. Teach you what? How to survive your world, she said. Because running clearly isn't an option. Wu stared at her, conflict warring across his face. Once you step fully into this, there's no going back. She didn't flinch. I already stepped in the moment I jumped off that fire escape. Something shifted in him then, something final. All right, he said. Then you stay by my side. Not behind me. She exhaled, shaky but determined. Good. Outside the safe room, sirens wailed in the distance. Wu's phone buzzed again. He glanced at it, then looked at Arya. My cousin made a mistake tonight, he said calmly. He showed his hand. And now, she asked. Wu's expression went cold. Now I end this. Wu didn't sleep that night. Neither did Arya. They sat on opposite sides of the kitchen island as dawn crept in, the city bruised purple outside the windows. Armed guards moved silently through the penthouse, replacing shattered glass, murmuring updates into earpieces. Arya wrapped her hands around a mug she hadn't touched. When you say you're ending this, what does that mean? Wu didn't sugarcoat it. It means my cousin won't get a second chance. Her throat tightened. You're going to kill him. I'm going to stop him, Wu replied evenly. However that ends. She searched his face for doubt and found none. What she did find scared her more, resolve. And after? She asked. After you stop him, what happens to me? Wu leaned forward. After, the board resets. And everyone will know where you stand. With you, she said. Yes. She nodded slowly. Then I need to know everything. No more partial truths. Wu exhaled, like a man finally setting down a weight. My cousin's name is Minjae. He controls the ports south of San Pedro. He's been siphoning money, buying loyalty, and waiting for a reason to challenge me openly. And I became that reason. You became the excuse, Wu corrected. The challenge was coming either way. She let that settle. So what's the plan? He studied her, then slid a tablet across the counter. You're coming with me. Her eyes snapped up. You said. I said I'd protect you, he interrupted. The safest place for you right now is where I can see you. She took a breath. Where are we going? A dinner, Wu said. Hosted by my uncle. Her stomach dropped. You said he tolerated me. He does, Wu replied. Tonight, he decides whether that tolerance becomes protection. They arrived after dark. The estate was alive with movement. Luxury cars, sharply dressed men and women, laughter that sounded rehearsed. Arya felt like an imposter in her red dress. Wu's hand firm at the small of her back as they entered. Whispers followed them. That's her. She's beautiful. She's dangerous. They were seated at a long table. Kim Young sat at the head. Min Jae sat 3 seats down, smiling like a man with nothing to fear. His eyes found Arya immediately. Well, Min Jae said lightly, raising his glass. Now I understand the distraction. Wu's hand tightened on Arya's knee under the table. Careful, he said. Min Jae chuckled. Relax, cousin. I'm complimenting your taste. Arya met Min Jae's gaze. I didn't realize my existence offended you so deeply. A ripple of quiet laughter. They've made their next move, he said. Arya's stomach clenched. Where? He looked at her. Your mother's neighborhood. The world tilted. She doesn't know any of this, Arya whispered. I know, Wu said. That's why we're going now. The drive felt endless, every red light an eternity. Arya stared straight ahead, heart pounding, imagining the worst. When they arrived, police lights already flashed at the corner. Arya bolted from the car. Wu caught her arm. Wait. My mother. She's alive, he said quickly. Shaken, but alive. Relief crashed over her so hard her knees nearly gave out. What happened, she asked. Warning, Wu replied. A message. They entered the small house. Furniture was overturned. A single symbol had been painted on the wall in red. Arya stared at it. What does it mean? Wu's face hardened. It means she wants my attention. Arya turned to him, tears burning. This doesn't stop unless I leave you, does it? Wu didn't answer immediately. Then, quietly, if you walk away, they lose interest. Her heart shattered a little at his honesty. And what do you want? She asked. He met her gaze. I want you alive. She nodded slowly. Then I'll leave. The words hurt coming out. Wu's chest tightened. Arya. But, she continued, voice firm despite the tears, not because I'm afraid. Because I choose my family too. He searched her face, conflict tearing through him. Finally, he nodded. I'll make arrangements. She stepped closer, resting her forehead against his chest. This isn't goodbye forever. No, he said hoarsely. Just not safe right now. They stood like that, holding on, knowing time was running out. Across the street, unseen, a car idled. A woman inside smiled as she watched them through binoculars. Run, she murmured. I'll find you anyway. We'll move fast after that. Too fast. By sunrise, Arya was standing in the guest room staring at an open suitcase, her hands frozen mid-fold. Wu's men moved in and out of the penthouse with quiet urgency, removing traces of her presence as if she'd never existed there. It hurt more than she expected. You don't have to erase me, she said when Wu appeared in the doorway. His jaw tightened. I do. If they can't track you through me, they'll track you through habits. She laughed softly, bitter. I've become a habit now. You've become leverage, he replied. And I won't let them use you. She zipped the suitcase shut with shaking hands. Where are you sending me? Out of the country, Wu said. Somewhere quiet. Secure. She turned to him. And my mother? She's already gone, he said. New identity. New address. She's safe. Tears spilled down Arya's cheeks. I didn't even get to say goodbye. You did, Wu said quietly. By choosing her. The words landed heavy between them. A car horn sounded below. Wu picked up her suitcase. It's time. The ride to the private airstrip was silent. Arya watched the city she'd known all her life fade into distance, wondering if she'd ever see it again. At the jet, Wu stopped her before the stairs. This isn't weakness, he said, searching her face. What you're doing? It feels like it, she whispered. He reached into his pocket and placed something cool into her palm. The Phoenix bracelet. You gave this to me, she said. And you gave it back, he replied. I need you to keep it now. She closed her fingers around it. So I don't forget. So you remember who you are, he said. Someone who survives fire. Her breath hitched. And you? I'll end this, he said. Then I'll come for you. Promise? She asked. Wu leaned down, resting his forehead against hers. On my life. She didn't trust promises anymore. But she trusted him. They kissed, slow, aching, full of everything they weren't saying. When she finally pulled away, she forced herself not to look back as she climbed the steps. The jet door closed. Wu stood alone on the tarmac long after it lifted into the sky. That night, the city burned quietly. Not with fire, but with consequences. Minjae's remaining allies vanished one by one. Accounts froze. Routes collapsed. Safe houses were emptied before enemies even realized they'd been compromised. And then Wu went after the woman. She didn't hide. She invited him. The meeting place was an art gallery after hours. White walls. Abstract violence disguised as beauty. You sent her away, the woman said, sipping wine as Wu entered. Predictable. You threatened my family, Wu replied. That was your mistake. She smiled. No. Falling in love was yours. Wu stepped closer. This ends tonight. Does it? She asked lightly. Or does it end when she stops being afraid of you? His eyes flashed. You don't know her. I know she'll never be free as long as you exist, the woman said. And neither will you. Wu drew his gun. She didn't flinch. The shot echoed through the gallery. By morning, the underworld knew one truth. Wu Jong was untouchable. Months passed. Arya rebuilt her life in a place that smelled like ocean and spices. She cooked. She studied. She healed, slowly, unevenly. Some nights, she slept clutching the phoenix bracelet, wondering if the promise had been a lie she needed to survive. Then one evening, the bell above her small restaurant door chimed. She looked up. Wu stood there, alive, whole, free. For a moment, neither of them moved. Then Arya crossed the room and hit him in the chest with both fists, sobbing. You said you'd come. He caught her, holding her like something precious. I told you, he murmured. I always finish what I start. She pulled back, eyes shining. Is it really over? For us, he asked softly. It's just beginning. If this story kept you till the end, like the video and subscribe, because more powerful stories like this are coming and you don't want to miss them.